Today's the last day of my first semester in an art school, so I thought I would give you guys a quick art school project roundup. This is only for my 3D design class. You'll have to let me know if you want to see my other stuff. This was our first project. This is a plaster with a wooden frame we made. And for being our first time using a lot of this material, I don't think it went that bad. There are some problems, like when we made my clay design, it went a little too high, so then when we actually filled it up with the plaster, it started overfilling, which is what led to like a lot of the cracks you can see, like right there. And then if you flip it over on the back, it's got like large cracks. It's ready to fall out. But I do think for this being like the first time I've ever worked with this, it turned out pretty good. Would I work with it again? Probably not, but I think it was good for like a one-time thing. This was project number 2. This was fabric. We were taking a pre-made button-up and then upcycling it into our own fashion. I made this one into a pretty big series on like my TikTok and Instagram, so if you're interested in seeing the design process, you can watch those videos. But I think this one went pretty good. Like, I've never really sewn before, and I did not really have a lot of clue what I was doing, but I went in with this huge idea that was like, hey, you can do this, even though I didn't know what I was doing. And what this really meant is that I learned how to do stuff that I wasn't really familiar with, and it ended up being one of my favorite projects. Even now, I still consider this like the best thing that I've done all year, because it mostly relied on like exploring and doing stuff you're not really familiar with. I think my only complaint about this one is just that like I need to practice sewing more, because a lot of these things, like the sleeves and stuff, are very like fragile, and so I'm afraid like when I put it on and stuff, it's gonna be too tight and everything's gonna fall right off. Technically this was like the 4th project, but I'm so tired of it that I just thought I would show it off here. It's a hanger to go with the shirt, but it looks absolutely disgusting. I would put this in like F tier. I'd never want to see this again. It barely works. You put my shirt on there and it goes from this to this. It just barely holds on, bro. I barely got like a good grade on it. I don't care. I never want to see that repulsive thing ever again. Speaking of things that repulse me, here's my wire shoe. Now, you might notice 2 very similar things in both the shoe and the hanger, and that is the wire. So why might the wire be such a problem? Well, I might be allergic to it. I don't know. We started doing like some practice stuff with it, and my hands would like burn and itch really badly, and I would have to like wash them in the sink multiple times to even get the itchiness to stop. And I should have probably went to the teacher about that, but I decided like, no, I don't want to make her feel bad for like possibly giving me a reaction, so I like hid it until we did critique. Outside of that, the shoe just wasn't very successful, because like my hands were burning and itchy. I found it like incredibly hard to even just like, I don't know, move everything and connect everything, because if my hand touched it in any way, like I was burning and stuff. I thought adding my shoelace would be like a fun addition to the shoe. No, it was not. It looks very ugly, and you can't take it off because it tore the shoelace. Now I've lost 2 shoelaces as a result of my shoe. This is also an F tier project. We are 3 for 3 on things that repulse me. This is my mask, and the mask honestly should not have been that bad. It was a very cute idea. It's very easy to make. No, the material I was using kept screwing up on me, and it took me over 3 times to even get to this. And this was made like a few days before it was due. I had to have like help from my parents and stuff just to even get anywhere. It wasn't a bad project by any means. Like, I adored it. It was just one where if this project wasn't so finicky and I had more time, I do genuinely think this would have been a successful project. And look, I'm wearing my matching shirt. It was based on Billy Joel's The Stranger. So I'm a little disappointed it didn't turn out right, but I will put it in like, I don't know, B tier, because it was like solid effort for what it was. So last and certainly not least is my wearable hair project. I also posted a little bit about this one, definitely not as much as I wanted to, but just a little bit, talking about the process and some of my ideas behind it. Now, altogether, I would say this project went relatively well, especially considering I was kind of going in blind and just kind of doing stuff a lot of the time. More of a in the process photo. I did not have a lot of pictures of this one, especially me wearing it, and it's mostly because like there's no good way to get a photo of it when taking a selfie, and I don't have a lot of people to take this photo for me at the moment. But this just kind of showed like one of the big problems with it, and that is I wanted it to be super long. There's this photo of a woman from the 1920s with super long hair that I was inspired by, but instead of making like the strands of hair incredibly long, I made them bigger width-wise. So it ended up leading to like big, crazy hair. My teacher referred to it as like Dolly Parton hair. And while that wasn't bad, it just kind of wasn't what I was going for, and reminds me a lot of my own hair and how I hate taking care of it. And just like I had to kind of learn how to style like my fake hair too in the same way. Like I am cursed forever to have this type of hair. I would honestly say this is one of my favorite projects, and it definitely turned out the best compared to all of them. It led to a lot of very interesting conversations, especially when I had to carry it around to like different classes. People would go, "What is that?" And I would go, "Oh, yeah, it's my hair." And then like nobody would question it because it's an art school. But I would do some things differently, but I don't know if I would do this project again. I would like to work with cardboard more, but probably just not like doing the hair because there's not really much you can do with it. I think it'd be good for like costumes and cosplay, but outside of that, there's not really much you could do. It's very big, so it's kind of like, don't know where I'm gonna store it at, but I'm gonna have to find a spot for it. And because I love you guys all so much, here's a photo of me wearing all the wearable projects. It's not a good photo. I really need to sit down and style it and then take the photo, because a lot of this was just kind of like throw it on so we could like show the teacher and then take it off. So yeah, I will get a better photo, but I didn't want to leave you guys dry without seeing everything put together.